Welcome back. And since the topic is so interesting and we were having such a nice discussion, let's continue. Am I only being used? Because they say, girls would say, if you love me, then I will have sex with you. Boys will say, because they know that boys, this is what the boy is looking for. The boy will say, I will love you. That means they know that girls want romance. So I will love you if you have sex with me. So at the end of the day, they are using each other. So this is where we would like to, know where to draw the line. So love should lift you up. You must know, is it love or is it lust? And is it dragging me down or is it putting me up? So now some questions. What do youngsters think love is? You said what you thought. What do you think friends think or people around you think? Who wants to start?
Can I just start by saying, comparing all the comments that have been said so far, we've had talks about loving our parents, loving God, loving nature. It's not the same as a relationship between a boy and girl, but it's not entirely different. Which is one of the main problems, I believe, is the couple in the relationship sometimes gets into the relationship to have exciting love, to have entertaining love, to have all the feelings and emotions that come with young love. But then think about it. You're with a person. You cannot have excitement for the next 60 years of your marriage. It's not possible. So you have to think about the love you have for your family. You have to compare it, because most people in my social circle, you ask them about their family, they're very protective. They don't allow their family to be hurt. They will do anything to benefit the family. You understand what I'm saying?
That's very good.
How much of that is there in a relationship between a boy and a girl?
In fact, I would say one of the tests is that love should not take you away from your family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, if you're in a relationship with a boyfriend or girlfriend, you're going to form a family with that person.
That's true.
It has to be the same thing.
And you get involved with the family also of the person. It's not just the person itself. Yeah. So what do you all think?
As we come closer towards like the topic of the love between a girl or a boy or family and man, I strongly feel that we first need to realize that each of us are a separate entity which encompasses of body, mind and soul. So as long as we think of the other person as as an object or whatever thought that comes from the mind, it will never be cross that border where it really connects or the other person is a means to our soul, where we don't know, have not been with that person, there's no understanding, the patience, but then it's only like an adrenaline rush, whatever we feel, and that temporary excitement which draws us to that person, and then we realize like it's not true. So as a boy and girl are together, I feel it's not necessary to make conclusions about a relationship, but to know each other better and go with the flow where it takes you.
Very good. And what you were saying, you didn't use the word, that you have to have a boundary.
Yeah.
That means you don't cross those boundaries, because in a relationship, crossing a boundary is difficult. Anyone else wants to add on this, or there's another point here? You want to say something?
Adding to what he said, basically the point is that when you start a relationship with someone, especially since we're talking about a boy and a girl, you have to start off with a friendship. You have to get to know the other person, because when you're getting to know that person is when you know whether you're compatible or whether you know what that person is really like. Because initially they paint a rosy picture and be like, I do this for you and I'm a good person, and get people to also corroborate that story. But then once you're with that person for long enough, you realize that okay, that person's completely the opposite. So you kind of saved yourself in the very beginning by not jumping into that relationship, but getting to know
That's
that
a beautiful
person.
thing. That is true. So time is important.
Yeah, it
It's
means
the most important.
However excited you feel, you need time to be able to. Okay. Now, do you feel that love is extinct now? There's no good girls and no good boys left. This notion of love is very old-fashioned, and it doesn't happen. You don't believe this?
No.
But a lot of people do, no?
That's a very common statement you hear by many youth. The problem is, and a very wise person told me this recently, this generation has instant gratification
Mm.
in everything we do.
Mm.
You want something, you want information, you have Google. You want food, you go to a restaurant. Instant gratification. That's not the case when it comes to human interaction.
Yeah, that is true.
The biggest difference between our generation and the previous one is they stuck it out.
Mm. Whatever happens.
Whatever happens. Like my grandmother told me recently, if you are going to get into a relationship, if you had to go through half the hardships that I went through with my husband, y'all would break off in 5 days.
But that's true.
Yeah, it's
Today,
true.
see
It's
how
true.
many marriages are breaking up and things like that. Okay. Now, do you feel like giving up? Everyone is having a good time, everyone is this thing, and I don't have anyone, and I don't know what to do. So therefore, there's nothing for me. I don't know. I'm sticking to my values, and nothing is happening.
Giving up is not a good sign.
Hmm.
And I would say that God has molded us in His own image, in His own likeness. And I actually feel that someday He has marked for us, say for example, maybe this year or next year. But you will find a person who is suitable for you, who is compatible for you, and who is made just for you by Him.
Wow, that's wonderful. Okay, now, do you think you need to have a girlfriend or boyfriend all the time?
No.
But then you will miss out on movies, on dates, on people going out on Valentine's Day or something.
Valentine's Day is a commercial creation. Let's get that very straight.
What do you mean?
I
That's
want
the
to
day
know-
everyone is saying how much they
I
love
want
each
to know
other.
if anyone disagrees with me that Valentine's Day is
No.
Totally.
commercially invented. Because my aunt asked me once, isn't every day Valentine's Day?
Wow.
So why do you need only one day to tell somebody that you love them?
Hmm.
In respect to movies and all, we are friends. I don't know how many of us are in relationships, but if you're not in a relationship, does not mean you sit at home the entire day and don't go out. We are friends.
Okay, so now let's end this session with a few points. How would you say? What did you get out of this?
So we were talking about love, different kinds of love and relationships and what they're like. And also we kind of touched on the topic of chastity and being, pure and things like that. Now one thing which people in relationships need to know, according to me, because I've had many people that have gone through this, and they think that, it's okay, I want to tell them that it's okay to make mistakes, because just because you're in one relationship with someone and you want it to be the one and you want to stick it out, even though it's toxic for you, isn't the right thing to do. I mean, even if you have slept with the person, if you are the girl and the person's bad for you, you have to get out of it for your betterment, and you have the right to do it.
No, and God is so merciful, He forgive you.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's one thing that
That you would like to-
that I would like to tell them,
Yes.
because there's many people that even stuck it out, got married, had children, and they have had children, but they're just not happy. And now it's just the whole society thing. Okay, you can't get out of it. There's people that are still getting married because of the thing,
What they
and the
done.
society have pressured them into it, saying that okay, you can't get out now. You've made the arrangements. You have to stick it out with the guy. You should have thought of it when you were so
Engaging that
yeah,
person.
exactly.
So basically, you're going to tell young people, stick it out, wait, don't just jump into a
Don't jump into a
relationship.
relationship. That's the best thing. But even if you do,
And on chastity,
it's
what would
not-
you say? Because that's what we want to tell them about.
I'd like to bring up a point that you mentioned earlier about feeling used in different relationships. See, you cannot let yourself be used, because they brought up very valid points. You need time. Just because he looks very good, you don't jump with him into bed. It does not make sense. You need to know the person, because be very careful. You can be used not only physically, you can be used very much emotionally. You jump from this fellow, you may not have had physical intimacies with whatever. You may jump from 5 different people, your mind is going to be messed up. By the time you reach the 6th fellow, you're hardcore, you don't want to open up.
And that's when you feel like this, that there's no perfect love and there's no perfect
Exactly. So
relationship.
the whole question of chastity comes on this, get to know the person.
Love needs to be filtered. We need to know, is this real or am I being used? And love should take you closer to God, closer to your friends, closer to your family. If it takes you away, then something is wrong. Okay?
To summarize, I would like to make one point, like we need to realize that love is something that we were born with. Our existence is always with love, and realize ourselves deeper that love is existential, and feel it continuously as we grow. And then only we'll realize the surrounding and other person's love,
The worth of other
the
people.
worth.
Okay. So let's end one thing in every session. Let's pray for certain things. Today, I would like you, when you go home, to pray for people who are in relationships that are difficult and they don't know how to come out of it, or they're facing some difficulties. Let's pray for them because they need God's help to feel that it's right to break it off or to do how to solve it. Okay? Thank you so much for being there.
Thank you for having us.